the game was very much the story of our season, right? We lose a player in the first half, we then go 2-0 up, we then go 2-2, then we play against 10 players.
I appreciate that was obviously a difficult result for you, but yeah, can you sort of describe, I guess, the season as a whole for City, previously, coming in and now, sort of no trophies, no Champions League, must be a really difficult season for you.
Yeah, I said to the group there that I was proud of the performance today. I was proud of the character of the team, but ultimately we fell short of the standard and the expectation of Manchester City women, right? Me included. I was brought here on March 11th to deliver Champions League and win trophies, and we fell short. Now there's a lot of challenge and context in that, but it's painful, right? But this is football. In these moments, it's about the reaction. It's about how you find the solutions to the problems that you faced. And when I look at the group and I look at the staff, I've got every confidence that the solutions will be found.
In terms of those solutions, what are the next steps? What are the things that City have to do to kind of put the season behind them?
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because we've still got another game, so that process will be beyond the Crystal Palace game, and I think in these moments you got to. I just said to the group, the minimum requirement now is to deliver a performance for our fans at home against Crystal Palace. What will be beyond that, I think, is a process that now becomes critical, right?
And just for yourself, will you be involved in that next process?
I'll be involved in the review process purely based off the fact that this team is ingrained in me, right? Unless told that they don't want me involved, I will be involved in it because we've been a team that's delivered trophies consistently over a 7-year period when I was involved, and I believe that this club should always be delivering trophies or should always be competing in Champions League. Now, we do have to also put the brakes on a little bit. We did only just miss out on winning the league by a millimetre last year. We did get to a League Cup final and we did get to an FA Cup semi-final. So the league position is far below what I expect, but we're not that far away. So the one thing I will say, when I look at the staff, the sporting director, the CEO, there's people there that are highly motivated to find those solutions and make those changes.
Do you want to still be in the job next season?
That's a big question, right? When you ask me about this team will be forever ingrained in me, right? I have an emotional connection to it. It is a team that I've followed throughout my time in America. For me, it's about concentrating on the Crystal Palace game. There has been no conversations about yes, no from myself either, right? Because we've been concentrating on the challenges that we've had, right? And we've had many, many things to focus on rather than that. So for us, it's about making sure now the minimum requirement. We know we can't make Champions League. The minimum requirement now is a top performance against Palace. Yeah, his ankle, right? So she couldn't carry on. She'll be with the medical team. I don't know how serious it is, whether it's 2 days, 2 months. The game was very much the story of our season, right? We lose a player in the first half, we then go 2-0 up, we then go 2-2, then we play against 10 players. It's the roller coaster we've had, especially since I've been here, right? So, yeah, she's hobbling. I don't know whether it's serious or not. Yeah, I mean, we went with Greenwood and Hemp, one for 65, one for 90. We brought Rudd on for 30. We brought Laura and Alba on for 15. So it's positive, but it's difficult to bring those players. And I think what you see from Alex is the leader that she is, the character that she's got. To play a whole 90 minutes after not playing at all for 5 months, and Hempo to come in for 60, and I thought she looked really dangerous. Is really positive. So for us, we knew we'd get a lift with those players, but in these type of games, you need them fit, fresh, and firing, and it's tough when they've been out so long.
Yeah, just a thought on Carolyn as well, because she was animated on the side when I got sent off as well. But she played really well on the left-hand side as opposed to just starting up front as well. Where do you see her settling into the team for probably the next couple of games, but even over the next couple of years, like Manchester?
Yeah, if we look at the sort of squad build and the succession planning of the squad, she's brought in to play off the side and to be really dangerous as a winger, right? Now, it's not ideal when you lose your number 9 and then you lose your other number 9 that's played there in Mary Fowler. So we've had to put her in. Now, she plays there for Brazil, right? She can play as a number 9, but we've had to find solutions, and we're almost trying to build the jigsaw here with a piece missing. We're forever trying to complete it, but it's tough, right? It's been so challenging with all the players injured. But it's football. So one thing that Carolyn is really, really dangerous. You saw that across those Chelsea games. We see it again today. For me, it's about consistency with her. She's a developing player. She's a player that has only been here for half a season. So there's much more to come from her. I've really enjoyed working with her. I love her personality and her character. So, the future is really bright for Carolyn here.
What were your thoughts on looking to attack both the fullback and centre back on the front foot really early on?
Yeah, we're an attacking team, right? If we're not creating chances in the game, we're not playing the right way, the way that we believe the game should be played. I thought we got into their box consistently today. If I'm going to be picky, we should be creating bigger chances. We should be doing a little bit more. And I think if we take the game to 3-1, I think we win it. But at 2-1 against a team like Manchester United at home, they're always in it. So, we need to be a little bit more offensive. Good performance, but bigger chances to win these games.
Nick, you spoke about those solutions. What would you want to focus on to get City back to the top?
I think it's about mentality, right? I think, and that's not me questioning the mentality of the group. I just see the game. I see our team as a team that should be competing on every front. We should, whether we lose players or not, we should, when we're 2-0 up, we should win the game. When we're 1-0 up against Chelsea, we should win the game, and we should always find a way to win. And for me, if you look across, I got Steph there with me, right? And Steph is somebody that would always be, however the game was, she was a winner. And you look at Alex coming in today and playing 90 minutes after not playing. Those are the types of players that we need here that can grind out wins, but also, we want to play great football. So for me, it's about staff, players, everybody involved in Manchester City Women that, however the game looks, we can find the solution to win. We can do it tactically and we can do it with quality, but we can also do it with mentality and character. And, if we're honest, we haven't been able to deliver that over the last, 6-8 games. We haven't won enough football games to be in the top 3. So for us, we have to take that. But the reality is the margin is really small. We nearly won a league last year. But for me, I was disappointed we fell the wrong side of the result in the League Cup final. I was disappointed that we lost the Etihad game against Chelsea. And disappointment is like, I'd sit here and I'd be honest if I said, our team isn't good enough, or, we haven't got good enough staff, or our process is this. Or, we're not that far away. It's about a mentality now, and it's about taking this. I said to the group, 2014 was my first season as the head coach, and we beat Chelsea on the last day of the season. And it was a really painful result for Emma and Chelsea because they should have won the league that year. And Matt Beard sneaked it. And look at them now. You have to react to these moments, and you have to build a mentality and a belief that no matter how the season looks, you're going to go and win. And we will do that.
I appreciate it's such an abstract concept, but how do you build mentality?
It's about the players that you recruit. It's about your training program. It's about the language that you use in the group. It's about the consistent messages that you're giving everybody in the locker room, in the dressing room. Right? It's about what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. And we have to go through all of that. Right? One thing that I know in football is there's always a reason why you lose. You don't just lose. There's always a reason, and you just got to find the reason. Right? And this group of people will go through that. It's not ideal when you don't have your best players. Makes the game really difficult when you don't have your best players. But, we'll review it, we'll reflect on it, and, we're not the first team to fall a little bit short of the expectation we have. That's why the game is the game.
And given that you're not in Champions League, then enticing those players with that kind of grit that you're going to recruit in the summer makes it more difficult, surely?
Of course it makes it more difficult, but ultimately, what we have behind us is we're Manchester City, right? And if you put a coach in there that can inspire and enthuse those players to come and play, and can give those players the belief that you're here to win, I believe those players will come.
Final question.
Yeah. Nick, I just wanted to ask, you talked about the mentality of the group, and I think you've got some really strong leaders in that group. Recruitment for City this summer, is that something that is top of the list considering the injuries that you've had? Do you think that has been an exposure of squad depth, or do you think that it has just been really bad luck?
We've got to figure that out, right? We've got to make sure that we do, and it can't all be bad luck, but it can't all be bad practice, because we've got some incredible staff out there. So we've got to find out where we can improve, and then you've got to accept that injuries happen in the game. Now, when I look at the men, I'm an honest guy in the press, right? When I came in, I see ambition in the group. I see hunger. You look at Lias in tears. You look at Yui after the cup final is in tears. There is real belief and real emotion, and that's what we've always had here. Is a group of players that play for this team and play for our fans. And when I look at Manchester United, they're a good team with a top coach, but their biggest asset is their real will to want to win. And that's first in every team, right? You can be the best technical team, the best tactical team, you can have the best, but if you have a real desire to win, whatever is thrown at you, you'll win. So recruitment is part of the game, right? Whether you're fourth or you're first, or everybody is recruiting, and everyone's team will change. And for us, it's about Manchester City. We have to build a team that is bare minimum in the Champions League, competing for all the trophies.